It's been almost a year since I buried my best friend Jeremy. Car crash, no seatbelt. One of those late night calls where everything changes in 5 words.
Hello?
I was supposed to be with him that night, but I bailed last minute. I told him I was tired, that I'd catch him next weekend. I never got the chance. Since then, I've never stopped blaming myself. The guilt wasn't loud at first. It crept in, quiet and patient. I stopped eating, barely slept, couldn't focus at work. I started visiting his grave every week, like maybe that would make something right again. Just sitting there, talking into the wind, hoping maybe that somewhere he heard me. Then, 3 weeks ago, something happened. I'd just gotten off a late shift. I always cut through the cemetery on the walk home. It was faster, and I'd gotten used to it. Jeremy's grave was a familiar stop now. But that night, someone was sitting there. I almost walked past, thought it was some other mourner, maybe drunk, but then he stood up. Same old leather jacket, same beat-up Converse, same messy brown hair that always stuck out at odd angles. And he smiled.
You look tired. Been a while, huh?
I froze. Everything inside me told me this couldn't be real. But he was there. Not pale, not glowing, not floating. Just there. I reached out and touched his arm. He was warm, solid, breathing. Not a ghost. I brought him home. He ate like he hadn't had food in years. Barely talked between mouthfuls. When I asked where he'd been, he looked at me and said,
Woke up in the dirt, walked until I remembered who I was.
I didn't ask more. Didn't want to ruin it. I had my best friend back. That was enough. Things changed quickly. Jeremy didn't sleep. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and he'd be standing at the window staring out. Not just once or twice. Every night. Always silent. Always still. Sometimes I'd hear him talking to himself, low and fast. Words that didn't sound right. Wet syllables that made my skin crawl. The kind of sound that sits wrong in your ears, like static and breath all at once. My cat refused to go near him, just hissed and bolted whenever he entered the room. The neighborhood dogs barked constantly when he walked by. Then there was the dirt. Black, wet clumps of it. In the tub, the hallway, the sheets. He never explained. Never pretended it wasn't his either. Sometimes I caught him looking at me in the dark. His eyes would reflect light like an animal's. Sharp, unnatural. And if I looked long enough, I felt something behind them. Something watching. That wasn't Jeremy. Or not anymore. 2 nights ago, I woke up and he was standing over my bed. Not moving. Just staring. He smiled. That crooked grin he used to have when we pulled some prank or skipped class together. But now, it didn't feel like mischief. It felt like mockery. Then he spoke.
Soon, there'll be nothing left of Jeremy but the skin.
It didn't sound like a joke. I told him to leave, voice shaking. I even threatened to call the police. He didn't flinch, just tilted his head. Then he spoke again, in that same whisper I'd heard at night. But that language, that didn't belong in this world. The lights went out. My phone screen cracked, without anyone touching it, right down the middle, like a fault line. I don't know what I brought back that night, but it's not Jeremy. It wears his face, his voice, his memories, and it's still in the house.
If you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more stories. Until next time.